Welcome to the NEPA Scene Podcast. This is episode 12. We're here with Ed Kuzo and Dan Rossler, and we're here to talk about music and the magic of friendship and all kinds of other wonderful things.
There it is.
We actually really don't know what we're going to talk about. That's what's fun about this one. You know, they are both local musicians in the area, but who knows what we're going to get into.
Magic of friendship.
Magic of fart drops.
So it begins.
The new Dead Mouse album.
So to start off, I'll introduce myself. I'm Rich Howells. I'm the founder and editor of NEPA Scene.
I'm Mark Dennebaum, and I run 25/8. And
I'm Jim Reynolds, and I run the Stewed.
oh, you weren't? I thought you were going to do more.
I could?
No, don't worry about it.
Okay.
Back to Rich.
Refer to last week.
Yeah, if you don't know who we are by now, then
If you don't know me by now. Come on, guys. You're musicians, aren't you?
Roll, roll, roll your boat.
Oh, okay.
Sorry.
Okay. If you don't know me. What happened on the scene this week?
let's see. We've got a couple photo packages this week. One of the punk hardcore show at Embassy Vinyl that was over the weekend with Vice Grip, Final Descent, Nothing Left, and Being. We have the photos from the Bill Withers tribute at the Jazz Cafe. And we also have some cabinet photos coming up from a show they did in Vermont. Which is a little out of our range usually, but
let's not promote for Vermont.
With cabinet being local,
but we'll promote cabinet.
Yeah. And we also have some photos and hopefully some video coming up this week of the Title Fight show at the Gallery of Sound, which is unplugged, which is very rare for them, so that should be interesting. We have... we have a new column that's coming out this week called Wildly Frustrated, and that's going to be a bi-weekly column.
It's Jimmy's sex advice column.
I was waiting for that.
You knew it was coming.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. It's actually it's about geek-related topics.
Oh, really?
Yeah, my friend Rich is going to write that.
Are you speaking of yourself in the third person?
No,
he actually has a friend named Rich.
Yeah, there's 3 Riches on the site currently.
Yeah. You're not the only Jim
included.
in the world.
I was looking myself up last night on Google. But anyway, continue.
Oh, and here's an interesting one. I just threw this together really quick because I just happened to see it. A Treat. Do you remember the soda A Treat?
No.
Yeah, it's A-Treat. You know.
When was this?
Okay. Well, it's based in Allentown. They make like a generic soda that you can find actually throughout Northeast PA, but more down a little bit more in like the Pottsville area and that sort of thing. They just went out of business. And so, of course, all these people are immediately trying to save the company.
A Treat.
Yeah, because it's something that maybe they grew up with or whatever.
It's like the Crystal Club.
It's exactly what it is. It reminded me a lot of what happened with Cherokee Red.
Yeah.
And Cherokee Red, was
not a racist soda whatsoever.
No, not at all. But it was
delicious.
made around here for a long time. Yeah, great soda. And then a Facebook campaign kind of helped bring it back, among other things. A lot of people demanded it, but that kind of was something that kept coming up in the news over and over that all these people were interested in.
But you notice it never came up negatively.
Yeah, well, that's the interesting thing is nobody brought up the racist name or anything, which I thought was interesting.
Or that cherries have anything to do with American Indians.
Right.
And
I mean, and there's an Indian on the label, so there's no mistake. That's what they're going for. Yeah. I think they misspell
blatant.
They misspell Cherokee on purpose so that they don't get totally bitched at. But nevertheless,
is that the trick to get out of racism? Is poor spelling?
Yeah, pretty much.
All right,
pretty much. So
mental note:
people are in the same way. There's all these Facebook groups and things trying to bring back A Treat just as quickly as it faded away. Apparently, so
wow. Why are we trying to bring back something I've never heard of?
I don't know.
Okay.
I
wish them luck if it's a delicious soda.
It is pretty well. There's all these different weird flavors that you don't really see, like a blue raspberry soda and a grapefruit soda and all this other kind of stuff.
We have to bring this back.
So yeah,
I never even knew
there's a sarsaparilla one too.
Even
hell's sarsaparilla?
Find out.
What does
Go
it
get
taste
one
like?
before
Is
it's
that
already gone.
Sarsaparilla?
What? Yeah. What is it?
Foot sweat. That's what it tastes like.
I think only cartoon characters talked about sarsaparilla.
Yeah, Yosemite Sam
Right.
did.
Right.
I'm a sarsaparilla.
Busting the doors down and
I mean, did you do a post about it?
Yeah,
Saving-
we did a post about it. It was popular in the past week. A lot of people shared it, and a lot of people talked
Maybe
about
we'll
it.
have
So
to
that's why I
join.
bring it up.
yeah.
Yeah, you and I will
That's
have to
right,
join
yeah.
later.
Yeah, definitely.
All right, we'll save a treat.
Yeah.
We'll help save a treat. I don't know what we can,
Well, you can still. They literally just went out of business a couple weeks ago, so you still have time to go and find a couple cases or at least a single. Here
I'm
and
the
there.
guy. I'm the guy that if I see the logo, I know what it is, and I just can't place a treat with a logo right now. I've
seen it at a couple local gas stations. I can't think of where off the top of my head, but
Those
I've
are
seen it
Jimmy's
around.
supermarkets, so I don't know. You have to have seen that.
Yeah, I'm sure. If again, like the logo, if I see a picture of the logo, maybe I'll know.
Right.
Well, let's try to help a treat then,
Yeah.
because I really want to.
Now you wanna try it.
sarsaparilla.
Yeah, definitely.
Could be awful, but at least I can. That's on my bucket list.
Yeah. Now you can say you tried it.
What if that gets like pomegranate? Like everything's pomegranate.
Do you ever
I
have? Do you
noticed
ever
that
have
everything's
pomegranate?
now.
Yeah, I think so.
Like a real pomegranate?
Mhm.
Not really close to what pomegranate flavored things taste like.
Well, for crying out loud, does grape taste?
It's kind of disgusting.
Artificial
Pomegranate?
grape is terrible.
yes.
I
It's
hate
just-
artificial grape.
Yeah, I mean-
All I can think of is Dimetapp.
Unless it's Welch's.
Welch's
Yeah.
isn't bad.
Welch's
Yeah.
grape
Wait, the
soda.
sparkling white or
No, the Welch's grape.
But
soda.
don't they use real grapes in there?
not in their
know.
soda.
Maybe
No.
it's naturally flavored.
They're grape juice. They say that
I'm talking
for
about their
everything.
juice, not the soda.
Everything has some sort of natural flavor in it. And I'd just like to say right now that Lauren isn't here, who's usually the voice of reason, which is why we're talking for 20 minutes about grapes.
Yeah.
But we miss her, and she apparently has ham cat flu.
Yes.
So she'll be here next week, but we wish her the best, and we hope her the best. And I don't even think that was a phrase that was correct. So
And
continue.
give Hamcat a pet for us, Lauren.
Yeah, Lauren, thank you.
All right. So you want to introduce our guests?
I would like to introduce two of the most amazing men in the world, the hetero life mates.
Jay and Silent Bob.
Yeah,
There you go.
Ed Cuozo and Dan Rossler. See, I find your name more probably
You watch
pronounced
what you
differently
say.
than the problems that you've had in the past.
I've had so many problems. It's absolutely.
So how many different Cuzos have you gotten?
I'm Kuzo, so obviously
How many
Kuzo.
times have you been Kuzo'd?
Kuzo. I've been Kuzo'd multiple times. I've been Cusco. I've been Kukuzo. I've been Kuwazo. And I'm trying to think. That's pretty much it. But in like every year going into like a new grade in elementary school, it was
You
just,
knew this problem was going to come up.
it was. I didn't know after, I don't know, like kindergarten or first grade or whatever.
What my name?
You know, I knew what my name was. What's my
Who am
fucking
I?
name? No, I didn't. No,
Is it Cuozo? Quazo? What is Cusco?
no, I knew what my name was, obviously, but I didn't think it was gonna be a problem. But I think by like second or third grade, and it
Nobody
just-
does.
right? And when it just kept happening, I was just like, this is fucking so stupid. Like, how could your teachers? Like your teachers.
Jimmy, how many times do you screw up a name at the beginning of the year?
I just use a first name basis.
There,
The first day of school, I create a seating chart, and that way I just lock it in.
and I wish that they did that. I just wish they said Ed, because there was only like one fucking Ed. It was me. You know,
Not
what I
even
mean?
an Edward. It was just Ed.
Right,
was
but
just
my
like-
luck, it's like you're like I look at it, it's like, oh, Ed, but it'll be like, no, it's Eid. You know what I mean? It's always different than
Right.
you're always gonna get it wrong, no matter how hard you try.
I had one.
That's how I feel.
I have one friend. He's like old friend of mine. His name is Rich. Not this Rich, who's also my friend.
Many other riches.
Many other Riches.
Yeah.
And I remember the first day I met him in elementary school, or not elementary, it was high school. I'm sorry. And he was like, "Hey, okay, nice to meet you," or whatever. And we're seated, and the teachers are like, "Richard." And he's like, "They call me Clint." And he just went by. You know who I'm talking about?
My old boss?
Yeah, Clint.
Ayub?
Yeah, Clint Ayub.
He has a other name?
His real name is Rich, like Richard.
Are you sure?
I swear to fucking God. But I just remember being and I love him. He's awesome. But I just remember like being blown away by that. Like just being like, hey, my name's Rich. I was like, oh, nice to meet you. He's like, but they call me Clint. You know what I mean?
It's not
like,
even
it just,
close.
Yeah, just like, not
It's the other end of the alphabet.
Right. That's what I was saying. Like, he's just like, oh, that's fucked up. Didn't have any problems pronouncing Clint.
And how poor was your upbringing, Dan?
I don't know.
Are you going to laugh the whole time? Is that what you're going to do?
Well, it's just that, I mean, like what we're talking about right now.
Yeah, we don't want to get into the struggle.
It was Danielle a lot.
Danielle.
And that I bring up the same thing he did, which I mean, you are teachers. There's an extra L and an E on this.
Yeah.
And when you're younger, oh wow, this explains a lot.
Right.
Those were formative years. So Danielle Rossler, and then you gotta raise your hand, and then everyone's laughing at you because you're younger.
Then that sticks with you for the rest of your life. It was like, hey, fucking Danielle.
Yeah, and then in third grade, this one kid said, "Oh, I didn't know you were fat." When I took my shirt off to go swimming.
That's my whole life. That was my whole fucking life.
Those things combined plus 2 years. Yeah, I think I need this fake cigarette now.
Yeah, there you go.
So wait, he goes, oh, I didn't know you were fat?
Yeah, neither did I until that moment.
Yeah.
But, what can you do?
You guys want to lay on the futon? Maybe that'll be more.
I feel like that's where we're headed.
Yeah, it feels that way.
It reclines
With
if
your,
you need it.
are you going to spoon too?
We might.
Well, you're such good friends. We're the two best friends.
I wonder what Freud would have to say about this.
Sometimes an
something
e-cigarette is just an
penis-related.
e-cigarette.
That's
Yeah.
right.
Sometimes an e-cigarette is just an e-cigarette. I'm out of questions. I don't know what else to talk about.
How did you guys meet?
Match.com.
That's eHarmony.
J-Date.
Melded was my favorite band when I was younger, my favorite local band. So I think I just started playing guitar when I went to go see Melded at the YMCA.
Was that your first band?
Yeah, my first band was Well, technically, it was always the same people, but it went through like various. Our first band name was like, it was Ohio.
And at
That's our
some
first
point you were Korea, because I remember trying to go into your MySpace and went to this, not that,
Yeah,
and there was this face that scared the shit out of me.
yeah.
That was upsetting.
I don't remember. I remember turning into Korea. We had like so
Not
many.
many people can say that.
That's true. That's very true. No, I remember being Ohio, then Inspector 34.
Are you sure? What does that mean?
Inspector 34 was the inspector on was it Pete and
Pete, yeah.
Yeah. The guy who like ate the chicken wings with the
Oh wow! I didn't catch the illusion.
Yeah. And it was real funny too because it was me, Brian, and Big Dan in the band, and we were like, oh, let's shave 34s in the back of our head. That's so cool. Because we were so young and we thought like,
I'm glad I didn't see it then. I don't think I would have liked you.
No, but wait. This is where it gets really awesome. So like Brian's like shaving a 34 in my head and I do Dan's and we're like, all right, Brian, you gonna do it? He's like, fuck no fucking way. There's no way I'm gonna do that. So then we walked around like fucking school with dumb, stupid numbers in the back of our head. So
Confusing you for athletes.
right. See how it feel tonight.
Well, Big Dan did play football.
Yeah, it's true.
And you're black belt and stuff.
No, it's not true. I'm not a black belt.
What are you?
Nothing. Now I'm getting overweight and continuing to eat pizza every day. That's pretty much it. But I'm trying to think how we exactly
An
met.
elastic belt now.
An elastic belt. Yeah. I went from the black belt to now.
She's either getting maternal wear
Yeah.
or what do you get when you're pregnant?
The moo right?
A baby.
Yeah, you get a baby.
baby.
That's true.
Well, I think I remember introducing myself to you then, and I remember running into you at Steamtown Mall's FYE.
Borders, Denny's.
Yeah, and I remember asking if you could help me set up a show, with this first band that we didn't know how to play anything. So I don't know.
That's not
why
true.
I asked.
You guys
All
were
Ends
awesome.
Tangled.
Oh, maybe it's true. I don't know about that band. I
He doesn't
talking
even
about-
remember that.
I was talking about No West.
No, this was even before that.
Oh, really?
So yeah,
Wait, so how old were you guys when all this was going down? So your first band with 12 different names was when?
The year, that's tough. 2003.
I don't know. I wouldn't know the year. I might have been like 15.
I was about 42 at the time. So no.
Waste.
Yeah.
You were 34.
Yeah. That's right. No. But I don't remember exactly. Like me, I just remember us meeting in passing here and there, and always talking about, oh, let's book a show or this or that. And I'd see him at the Melded shows, and I was always like, oh, that Dan kid, he's real nice. And then I was going through some shit with Melded, because I was trying to get that like off the ground for years and years, and like try to take it super, super seriously. And the people I was in the band with at the time.
You in that water,
Yeah,
man.
what the
Like,
fuck?
do you have
In
to
the middle
squeeze
of a
it?
fucking
Gravity
story.
works.
No, it's the suction.
Just let it drip into your mouth like a Mountain Dew commercial.
If
Yeah.
you want. All right.
Jesus.
I'm sorry.
No, you good. Well,
What's wrong with you?
I just remember I've lost the story. It's gone.
Okay, melded.
Something.
So you wanted to get that off the ground. You were trying really hard.
I wanted to really do something with it, and I was in the band. I had all my like best friends were in the band with me, and I loved and cherished those years. And we made a lot of really, I think, really fun music and good music, and we made a lot of really terrible, shitty growing up trying to find yourself as a musician music, which anybody who's a artist, does. It's those formative years.
You have to go through that.
Absolutely, in any facet of anything that you do. But the people who I was with, they were just like, they were in college, you know what I mean? They had shit that they really had to focus on. And I was, like, hey guys, we got a show. And, okay. You know what I mean? So anyways, that kind of hit ahead, and the band kind of dissolved. And I came home one night, and I think I stopped at Denny's, and that was like the big hangout. I would stay there till like 5
with George.
Yeah.
Oh my
Yeah,
gosh.
George, dude.
Yeah.
He was great.
George and his old man.
Yes.
Yeah. Behind.
I can't even.
But I walked in, and Dan was there, and it was like probably one of the first times that we actually sat down, I think, and talked to each other. Like actually like sat down and talked more than about an album or something like that. And he was like, oh, I'm playing music with this girl tonight. You want to come down? This girl, Sophie, we're singing together. And it's like, yeah, sure. And then we went to, where the fuck were we?
I think it was off a track by her aunt's house, so that had to be I forget which part of Scranton, but
This is where the show was.
No, this is where
it was when this was all happening, there wasn't really nowhere else to go to do anything, so sometimes we would just, like this particular time, we ended up like on some walking trail, I think, to practice.
What?
Yeah, we were like, that's where it was, right down on what street is that?
I'm not sure.
It's by McDonald's and shit in West Side.
Is it McDonald's in West Side?
Yeah, where is that?
South side.
South Side.
South Side.
Yeah,
Sorry, and the trail that's back there.
Yeah.
That's where it was at.
Yeah,
That's where it was at. So we drove down there and went and played music. And I saw Dan like in No West, and I just knew him as a guitarist. I didn't know him as a songwriter, singer. You know what I mean? And I not being an asshole, but I just didn't expect, like, I just thought like, oh, this will be fun. And they started playing, and it was like unbelievable. Like, it was absolutely beautiful, the melodies and the way their voices sounded together. And I was like, hey, could I try singing with you on this one too? And then I sang, and then it really, I feel like it came together really well. And
Yeah, that was awesome.
yeah, it was kind of like the birth of it, right?
Yeah, I think I mean, that's how A Fire with Friends started, for sure. That was the first A Fire with Friends show, was us three.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
It was me, Ed, and Sophie at the Wildcat
Oh yeah.
in Einen. It was the Window
Sturgis.
Shoppers. I'm sorry. It was the Window Shoppers CD release show, I think.
Yeah, it's fucking crazy, man. Time.
Now that was before Fire with Friends turned into Slipknot with like 9 members.
Yeah.
and,
Yeah.
like, a guy who plays kegs and all kinds
Yeah.
of crazy shit,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah, it was very acoustic, and I think I wanted to make it bigger, but that's just how it started. And then I think around that time I ended up joining Melded.
Yeah.
Wait, you joined
the whole thing is so like insane.
Yeah.
Like just as insane as like it's just everybody's sharing band members, you know what I mean, and trying to make certain projects went like, even though I said like my band dissolved, that was version like 15 of Meld It that dissolved. So then we got our original drummer back, and then we needed a guitarist. So I asked Dan to play, and
played some shows in New York.
yeah, we played some shows in New York, and that was fun. And the lineup felt really good. But then it was like, again, it was like a commitment thing from certain people. Certain people wanted to do other things. That's totally cool. I kind of I threw like a temper tantrum. I was like, I'm fucking done. Like stupid, like young shit. You know what I mean?
I can't see you throwing a temper tantrum.
It could be very bad.
Did you see it?
I don't know if I saw it. I felt it in my bones.
Did you at least, were you collateral damage for the temper tantrum?
I mean, I showed up to practice.
Yeah, like no, and it was more of I didn't throw a temper tantrum.
Did you just get like to a point where like you got like frustrated?
Yeah, I think that's what happened.
Sure, and
it wasn't fun for you at that point.
No, it wasn't at all. It was. I mean, I love playing with everybody who was in the band, but it just felt like so many like okay, we got a practice set, and
that was the most insane time of my life.
3 bands, right? I think I was in 3 bands too, because remember
you might have been doing Days of Thunder.
Yeah. The whole other story, man. That was awesome.
Yeah, because I had no West. It was wild because every day of the week there was practice. I had no West practice Mondays, and then a Fire with Friends after that. And then Melded Tuesdays, Fire with Friends Wednesdays, Melded Thursdays, and then the weekend you're guaranteed at least 1 or 2 shows. And I was in school.
Yeah, and I was working at. I
had 2 jobs. I was
you were
greatest dishwasher there ever was.
You were crazy. I was working at this place called Estes, driving a forklift, still doing the same shit I'm doing now, but I was working there full time. And what I would do is I would go there. Well, I'll start it at like, okay, I'd go to Melded practice. And then right after Melded practice, we were all in the same rehearsal space. We'd go right to Fire with Friends practice. Mm-hmm. And then after that, if there was time, it would be real late. We had this practice space at Phoenix Cuts on Penn Ave. And I just was meeting all the Social State guys. Mm-hmm. So we'd get together and we go till like 3 or 4 in the morning, because where that was at, like we just didn't have time restrictions or anything like that. And it was awesome. It was just the best rehearsal spot like ever.
All of our practices were so late. It's like 5 in the morning, and then I was class at 8 in the morning. Then everything just fell apart at once.
Yeah.
Because Melded disbanded. No West did.
Mm-hmm.
I'm pretty sure I told college that I wasn't coming back, I think. And then well, now I am.
The actual university.
Yeah, I called them all together, all the head honchos. I said, "You don't offer my degree here. I'm not driving to Wilkes-Barre." Nor am I ever going to Penn State main campus. No offense to the campus. I just everything I was here, So
yeah.
So I did a lot of, and I think probably everything suffered from it.
Well,
like 8 o'clock in the morning class,
you learn,
and then they put up the PowerPoints as a tired excuse. Like what an excuse!
Yeah.
For education.
Wow.
Well, not that PowerPoints can't be useful, but I'm trying not to like be mean. I guess,
are you really afraid of offending like the one listener out there who's like, I really like PowerPoints. How could this guy
Start
say
every
this?
class with them.
It's so lazy.
So Jimmy runs all his classes.
That'd be out of business.
Jimmy's the one guy. He's
Yeah,
very
the kids
offended
don't
right
like
now.
the PowerPoint, Jimmy.
Just open. Yeah, when you're not when you have a sick day, you're just like but just open up the
Just
PPT.
double click. Yeah.
The .ppt. You'll be fine.
Yeah, it's
the class runs
hopefully
itself.
we got the right version of PowerPoint, because if it's PPTX, you might have to just write it on the board.
You might have to get Open Office.
But at least
your
he probably
chalk
knows
out for the day.
how to run it. Like I'm not going to mention names, but God love her, she's so nice. But I have a professor at school who, I mean, every class it's trying to get the computer to work for 35 minutes to listen to like a 5-minute YouTube video that you can't hear because we can't figure out the speakers, and it's just. And then
Currently?
last semester, yeah, and And they were also doing construction on the campus. So this lady is very soft spoken. And, like I just mentioned, the YouTube videos, you can't really hear anything. And then you just hear power drills going off. And then the whole time I go, this is the most expensive, thing I've
Waste
ever.
of time.
No, it's not. It wasn't a waste of time. It was an expensive. I just never felt like I actually paid money to listen to drills before. Like a lot of money.
I had the same experience. What
Where'd
school do you go to again?
You went to the U, right?
Yeah. It was when they were building the Dennebaum Center.
Oh.
But I had a teacher also that didn't know how to use PowerPoint. What she would do is turn on the overhead, open PowerPoint, and then as she was talking, she would just start typing into the slide.
Oh no!
Almost like it's just like a recap text, and then finally, it was an education class, and we were just like, well, you could do that prior to class. And
Wait, the class said this to her?
Somebody she was a great teacher. Don't get me wrong, she was phenomenal, but it was kind of it was not necessary to have even PowerPoint running at that point. But I think she just felt like she needed to, but didn't know what it really was used for.
How did we get here?
This is what happened.
What was the first question?
Right.
I think you asked me
name?
about my upbringing. Well, all right. There was plenty of PowerPoint.
Do you find PowerPoint useful as a musician?
I don't.
Maybe.
Can you incorporate that into your
I think you just blew
songwriting
Dan's
workflow?
mind there.
If I were to use it, I'm just coming up with this on the spot. But if I was to use PowerPoint as a musician,
And
I
you're a
would
darn
write
good one.
each part of my song would be a different slide, like chorus, verse 1, verse 2, bridge, and that way you can kind of rearrange them in the window before you shuffle through the slides and kind of get an arrangement of your song.
That seems nice. I just wouldn't know how to open the program. See, I'm as guilty as the teachers. It's just that's why I wouldn't use PowerPoint. But that sounds nice.
Yeah, it sounds like a pretty neat thing.
I
Yeah.
don't even know if I have PowerPoint.
You want to know something?
I do.
Well, I don't even really know what a PowerPoint is. Isn't that sad?
If you have access to Google, you have a PowerPoint.
Oh, cool. So I do know. All right.
It's in there. It's hidden in the.
It's all I
hidden
need
in
to
the.
know.
It's sort of just like slides of whatever.
Oh, well, and it's got like little bullet kind of
And a
things.
lot of times
Yeah.
they try to make it visually appealing.
Yeah, my
To
favorite
distract
effect
you
is
from-
that one where every letter hits and it's like a gunshot for every letter.
Oh my gosh.
You know that effect?
Do you ever
Have you
have
ever
someone you
experienced that in
swear to
class?
God they did it for a paragraph and you're like, why?
And usually the teacher doesn't even know the speakers are on, so it's usually like full blast. 8 a.m. class.
Well,
Wake up, fuckers.
Yeah, just wanted to see if you were paying attention.
yeah, that was no accident. They knew the sound that was
Yeah.
All right, we're good now. We're good on PowerPoint.
Just stop.
We've
Just
covered
stop
it?
us. Like if you ever
Okay.
want to, you have to. You're like the sorcerer. We're the apprentices. You can scold us, stop us whenever.
Do
you
I
want
get
to.
like a cool wizard outfit?
No, you just go, guys. Enough. This is ridiculous.
This is
it's about
bullshit.
PowerPoints.
So I have to be an asshole?
No, I just think it just be stern.
This
There's
week's
a difference.
podcast, we're having Ed Kuzo and Dan Rosler on to speak about PowerPoints.
You're going to have 100,000 listeners
on this one.
on this one.
Yeah.
Yep.
They're going to compare the differences between
PowerPoints.
PowerPoint 97 and PowerPoint 2010.
Before we got on PowerPoints, I think you guys were bringing up a good point. It's very difficult to keep a band together and to get everybody onto the same page. I think that's the biggest. Is that the biggest challenge of being in a band?
I
Is
would
just
say.
getting everybody on the same page and then putting out something that you all feel comfortable with and that you're proud of?
I would absolutely say that. That to me, I mean, half of that, like the struggle, like that's kind of fun. You know what I mean? Like I think that nothing like comes easy, but I mean like to get 3, 4, fucking 37 people in a band or however many, you know what I mean? Like all focused on one thing. Like it's a task and it could be seem real heavy at times, but what's really great about it is when it all comes together. You know what I mean? Then it feels like, okay, well, this is worth it, you know?
The suffering has been.
Absolutely. When it works out. And that's my opinion, you know?
Yeah, I think you can either luck out and it works out right from the beginning, or it doesn't. But even if it does, people's lives change.
Yep.
And I'd probably be like 4 years younger if we didn't have so many bass players and drummers in A Fire with Friends.
Yeah. Or the 15 drummers in A Social State.
Like that.
I mean,
and
how do you
it's met
guys?
with
How
no
do you guys?
disrespect, you know? It's
But
just-
how do you guys keep trudging through when it's like, oh, like shit? Like part of it has to be like, all right, back to the drawing board.
Yeah, I don't know. Like I don't know why. I guess I don't know. I just like it that much, I guess.
It's like an addiction. I mean, that's like, seriously, it is. It's to me, it's always felt like just super, like I can't not do it. You know what I mean? I can't not like be in a band, and I just like doing it so much. I like being around 3 other musicians or however many other musicians and making music, and you're willing to kind of go through that, you know, just for this, I don't know, this end product, you know what I mean? Or the chance to maybe do something greater, or maybe not, maybe just do it in the local bar, but just to do it, you know?
Yeah.
So
It's frustrating playing catch up, you know, with your own
Absolutely.
material. But
Yeah, but I'm not saying like, you know, those are all. I mean, you guys have been through enough ups and downs where it's like, you know, it's almost like I know how to navigate this one.
yeah,
In a sense where it's like, it's going to be a pain in the ass, but like I know we'll get through it.
sometimes I think it feels that way, but sometimes you don't want to say those things or come off that way to the people you're playing with, because then you're, you know, I mean, they take you as, you know, all right, Hitler, you know, like, you know what I mean? Like,
Right.
let's do it his way or the highway. Like, and it's not that. It's just maybe have, you know, good hindsight here. You know what I mean? Like,
I mean, but are you guys basically individually kind of like the heads of the spear of, or do you guys run the whole thing democratically, or?
I think as
Because I don't
democratic
believe.
as possible. I think even if you don't appoint a leader per se, sometimes I think that I end up in that role a lot. Well, a lot with A Fire with Friends, but I think it's because I ended up starting it, so it's sort of like my goddamn problem, you know.
that's a good way to put it. Absolutely.
But in a really cool way. I am trying to be funny.
And it's hard too to, like you said, you know, put your foot down and not be accused of, oh, you're the typical lead singer,
Right.
and, you know, the lead singer syndrome kind of stuff.
LSD.
Sure.
Right.
yeah, egos
But somebody's
are a weird
got to
thing.
be the, like, I don't believe in I've been in a couple of bands, and I don't believe in democracy in bands. I think somebody needs to be there to listen to everyone's opinion
Yeah.
and then make a decision. But
Yeah.
everybody has to trust in the position.
If you have too many cooks in the kitchen, nothing gets done. So
there needs to be roles.
yeah,
know what I mean?
yeah. I think, you know, Chelsea though is exceptionally important, and
Yeah.
A Fire with Friends, and well, everyone is. It's just I'm trying to go through the, like, in my head how many people have been in the band, but at this point right now the band works really well. It works really well, and as far as Estakota goes, we work great together. I don't think there's like a leader. I think there's just but if I were to point one, maybe Jay, you know.
Yeah, but you guys are also of the same mindset.
Yeah, and I mean, it takes you a while to get the people with the same mindset, and I think that's sort of what you guys were talking about, the difficulty of putting together bands, because a lot of people find out sort of halfway through when you're broke in St. Louis, like, oh, I don't really know if I think I just want to play guitar in my room, you know,
Yeah.
which is fine.
Has that happened?
Well, I'm not. No, I mean, I'm just like, but kind of, you know, I'm oversimplifying it. I think people end up just their lives taking them in different directions, you know.
Yeah.
But yeah, we were looking at Craigslist to find jobs to get money to come home.
I mean, is that? But so I mean, how? Well, why keep doing it?
I don't know. I'm a goddamn weirdo. I don't know. I guess because some of the lows are really dismal, but the highs are exceptional. So that's why.
Well, you guys both put out original music, which is tough in itself to even, you know, find an audience for that and to gain appreciation for it, and then to find venues to play it in too.
Yeah.
So how has that been for both of you guys?
I think it's been harder every year. venues. You know what I mean? It gets tougher for me to my. I mean, it hasn't been tough to when I was a kid. It was hard to break in to like the Scranton music scene. You know, I mean, that was really difficult. Like I felt like they were just. I couldn't get involved in that scene as badly as I wanted to be a part of it. I don't know if it was just an age thing or what it was, but I just felt like isolated away from it. All the bands I loved and all the people I looked up to, I just couldn't get in there. I was just in my like weird Scott Township, like, hey, we're in bands too. We're playing at the VFW. You know what I mean? Like that whole thing. But as I got older, it seems, especially in Scranton, that there is such a great sense of community between all the local artists and the local venues and local bars and all these places that give the artists a platform to play. That they're very open armed in that. So I don't feel it's so much there's difficulty in finding welcoming people. And welcoming people that want to have things happen. It's just hard to find places. You know, I mean, the places are just going down by the number, and that's the hard thing. That's the hardest part. Not to be like a total bummer, but you know, what I mean?
I thought the whole thing before this was making us bummers, but you can keep going. This is actually an upside.
May I interject?
Go,
Dan. You can always interject.
Yeah, talk.
Especially.
What happens if I
how
have to
dapper
pee?
you are. Do you have to?
I have to pee so badly.
All right, go. We'll keep talking to Ed.
Yeah.
That's
go
cool.
ahead.
Are you going to edit this out, or
No,
is
we're
going
going to keep this all in. Everyone's going to have to know that your body function
Well, I mean,
works.
for crying out loud, you drink like 36 iced coffees and see what happens.
You know what's great about this though too is I also really have to piss, so you could go.
Oh, this is kind of part
So
of
we'll
it.
make it work. Yeah.
You just made it into okay,
Hey,
great.
go for it. Go
Okay.
for it.
Go.
So let's continue.
All right, now that Dan's gone,
Yeah.
how much of an asshole is
I
he?
mean, the thing about this guy is,
He has to urinate every 6 seconds.
I mean, that's what an asshole, right?
He's got the bladder of an infant.
He does. I've seen
Him in his yellow shirt.
this fucking
Right, and his
guy.
gorgeous hair. What did
Maybe
he
it
do
was white
today?
prior to, but he peed on it by accident.
It could have been.
That's
while he was doing his bat lifts.
Yeah. And writing a PowerPoint while in the bathroom.
God. Okay.
So is there any at any point as a musician, is there a temptation to just, I'm going to sell out. I'm just going to do what people want to hear and play, covers all day and just stop doing the original music altogether?
No, I could never. I mean, I could never stop doing it because it's like a form of therapy to me. I've said that 1,000 times. I know it sounds so fucking cliche and lame, but it really is. I think that's why you see so many people pick up a guitar. I don't think it's just, I'm sure a lot of it has to do with like they see, back in the day, like, there's the fucking crew. I want to do that, or whatever.
Girlfriend.
Yeah. But so much of it though, like the longevity of somebody playing an instrument or writing poetry or making visual art or whatever the fuck it is, like I think it's because that they feel like they have to express something, you know what I mean? So I can't ever go the route of like, you got to write this candy ass pop song, or you need to play all this top 40 covers. Like me, I do covers. Like I'll go out on my own and, try to make some money at the bars. Like there was one way I was trying to escape getting like a real job, which sadly I've still got to get a fucking real job. but what's it called? But there is a way to do that. I don't go in and play like not playing Katy Perry songs and fucking Kesha songs or whatever.
No, but you're going in there and wouldn't part of it be like, I'm going to slip in a couple.
That's half my set, man. Like whenever I do those things, if I'm playing down the Keys doing a show, or I just played down Ale Mary's 2 weeks ago or something. It was like almost all original stuff and just then covers that I love. I'm doing Not a Surf or Weezer, the Beatles, Nirvana, Foo Fighters, so.
Yeah, I don't think there's any shame. I don't want to make it sound like, sell out. Like,
He's back.
It's, like I don't think there's any shame in playing songs to get paid.
Absolutely.
And, do what you have to do.
Yeah.
But I'm glad that you're not just saying, oh well, I'm gonna stop writing and recording the original stuff.
Well, though on the flip side of it, though, there are days where it feels like, like why the fuck do I do this? You know
Right.
what I mean? Like Dan's having a problem with this fucking boom mic here. Is there music?
Watching you do things is amazing.
Is this you got a fucking PowerPoint in there? There's a
Is that Jimmy turned on PowerPoint?
You gotta be fucking kidding me. Here I'm like, I felt like for a second like, oh shit, we're going to a real place, and I just. You know?
Jimmy's like the guy who's like when all of the like the build up to like the sexy time is like all the foreplay.
Yeah.
And then Jimmy will just do something to like, I'm gonna go home now.
Just like fart and knock over like a can of fucking Sprite.
See you later.
That's awesome. Most of your romantic rendezvous are. Well, see you later.
See you later. On that note.
All right, so Dan, we were talking about sex.
Well, if you
lives.
could do that in a musical sense, I think that's a very important thing that
to
an
make
artist-
people walk away.
You build up to that moment, and then it's the end of the album
That's true.
because then they want to come back for the next one.
Did either one of you ever play a gig that you sabotaged?
Like purposely?
Yeah, where you're like, I don't want to be here right now. I'm going to do everything I can just to make it either A, we're going to have the most fun as possible being total jerks, or we're just going to do whatever we can to get off stage.
Never consciously.
Yeah.
I'm almost positive I've. Remember Hucklebucks?
Oh yeah.
I almost sabotaged my life.
What happened?
I don't know. I was 19 and they let me. I was drinking.
And he was 21.
And I was 21, and I accidentally drank too much, and I think I said something like before we even played, I think I said like F John McCain, and like
Yeah.
and Ed was like, Dan, please, you can't say that here. He's like,
Please keep politics out
he
of
goes,
this.
the place is called Hucklebucks, And I was
It's
like, I don't care. Then I told some guy who would kill me that it wasn't his birthday.
What do you mean?
I said, it's not your birthday.
He came up, he was like, it's my birthday. It's not your fucking birthday.
Yeah.
Just fucking drunk Dan.
And just like, I remember trying to quote Clerks and it just failed. Because I said something like, I don't appreciate your ruse. You're cunning. It's not your birthday. Yeah.
And this guy, like, I remember him too. Like, he was real tall
He would have killed
and
me.
really yeah, he would have killed.
I don't
He
know
would have
who
just
I thought I was.
the whole band. He would have just went.
Yeah.
He just fucking took us all out.
Like
I'm gonna pee now.
like a big monster guy in World of Warcraft, and you got to have like 6 people take him on.
Do you get like that? Do you get like drunk tough?
No, I don't think so. No, maybe then. I don't know. I don't think I do.
Where was that venue at?
I don't know. I remember coming home and Eric got really mad that McDonald's wouldn't let him eat food, so he peed like all over their window, and it was like the longest.
Is this the band Life?
Unfortunately. And my God, it was the longest pee I've ever, just sitting in your car going,
This is happening.
this is real. Yeah. This is how I go out, probably. Killed by an
Yeah,
angry
because-
McDonald's
Well,
owner.
see you later.
I mean, if one person is doing, you're all going down for it,
Yeah. We all came in the same ship,
right? So you're kind of stuck,
Yeah.
no matter what.
Yeah.
So how did you? Do you have a question? Can I?
Go ahead.
What was your? And then maybe we'll get to Ed. Is like when did you find out? Like when did you get bit by the bug? And you're like, this is what I want to do. Because most people, when it comes to their passion and stuff, they don't realize it until they do it.
Yeah.
They're like, oh my God, I really enjoy this.
Yeah, which is interesting because like how many people may have lived before their art form was invented? How many great filmmakers were there before there was film?
In the 1700s.
And they ended up being like farmers,
I never thought about it that way. That's incredibly
it's
sad.
depressing. Yeah.
Yeah.
But I don't
Thanks, Dan.
Maybe that's why there's like elves that existed and things like they came out because it's like they should have been a filmmaker, but now they really didn't know what their purpose was.
Elves?
Like just for example, you know what I mean? Or just,
Wait.
What kind of example?
A fictional creature as an example?
Well, no, like there supposedly were elves back then.
Oh.
In the 18th century?
Talk about big left turns, man. This is fucking awesome. This just got real good.
I'm just saying.
Where
like,
did you
maybe that
hear
person
about
was
these
supposed
elves?
to be a filmmaker.
That elf?
Yeah, that's why they didn't really know what they were doing back then.
I love podcasts.
Wait. Enough about you guys for a second.
Yeah, it's fine.
No, go. Let's switch.
Wait,
Maybe not an elf. Like, let's think of something else. Like
Like a gnome?
wait, but what did you mean like a different word than elves?
just something that like somebody that seemed like they were odd back then because they weren't doing what they were
synonymous with
supposed to
elf.
do.
Like Dan was saying, the farmer?
Yeah, maybe like that guy that
It's
was
like a farmer.
that was supposed to be a filmmaker that would have made an incredible filmmaker, just made a terrible farmer.
All right, there you go.
That's
There
Yeah.
could probably be a good point right there.
that's sort of what I was. Yeah,
Like that explains a
They
lot.
had-
Okay, now if he
well,
had
I
a camera and a-
Jesus,
and a,
like, I mean, just think
a
about it. Like,
VCR, he could have done wonders.
but just think about like years ago. It's like you were a hunter or gatherer, or that was it, and like there was no real expression.
Yeah.
So that's why people only live to be 32.
because they couldn't express themselves.
Maybe
That's
I don't
that's
know.
kind
You
of
could be a
interesting
court
theory.
jester.
They didn't have.
Maybe that's the elf.
Right, because they were a
court
goofball.
jester.
Because they didn't want to farm. They should be out making movies.
They also didn't have PowerPoints back
Just think
then,
about,
so that
like-
might explain a lot.
Just
Didn't
think
the court
how you
jesters
would
die
act
a
if
lot?
you
Couldn't
had
learn
a
anything.
super talent, right? And you couldn't figure out
What it was?
what it was.
Because it
You'd be
didn't
nuts.
exist yet.
People think you're nuts.
Well, so like Eric Clapton in the 1700s, like what would he do?
He probably would have played like a lute or something
Well,
like
he
that.
probably
So
would
he
have played
probably would have still
guitar.
been a good musician.
Eric Clapton in 1000 AD.
Yeah, he probably like played a lute or something.
How long has the lute been around?
I don't know. I think guitar
Or a
was
fife.
1500s.
I have no idea.
And
Tearing
he-
it up
when
on
it
the
comes to the
fife.
history of it, I play the fucking thing. I have no fucking idea.
I honestly, I think it's like an 1800s, 1900s. It's relatively new, like
the guitar.
the guitar as we know it. And
Well,
with its
yeah, because I
tuning.
think it used to have 5 strings before they added the other E.
right.
But I think it might be 16th century.
but is that what you're talking about? Where it's
But
like, can you imagine?
With what Jimmy's saying seems
Minus the
right the
elves.
way that we know it now.
Yeah, that was just I think I went a little far with that.
No, I loved where you went.
But I'm just
It was a
saying,
great
just
place.
even right now, think about somebody that's crazy. Maybe somebody that we think is nuts. Maybe they just haven't found what it was that makes them tick,
I
or
think
what
that's
they
why-
can put that energy toward.
Rich, do you believe in ADD?
Do I believe in it?
Yeah, like would you believe in like ADD as like a psychological
Yes.
problem?
Yes.
See, I don't believe in ADD. You
I
know what
do,
believe
but I
in?
think it's over-diagnosed just like
John
braces.
Bonham, I
yes.
think had ADD, but he loved drums, so it worked out perfectly.
Yeah,
for
John
him.
Bonham never had a problem with ADD when he was behind the drum kit.
Well, I think it's just laziness with teachers, not Jimmy. Because I want to be a teacher. I'm not trying to call teachers, but
Are you seriously going to school to be a teacher?
I would like to be, yeah.
What kind of teacher?
I would like to teach college, but who knows what'll happen.
But do you have like a certain?
yeah, English.
Well, I think things like ADD too have come about because of the media just being in our face all the time. I mean, now we have video games, cell phones, and everything else that grab your attention 24/7, and people have trouble concentrating now because there's just so much going on. There's so much stimuli and that sort
Absolutely.
of thing.
Like, do you think there was
it's not-
ADD back in the 1700s?
No,
I doubt it. I don't think it's the same.
because they knew they had to farm.
Well, I'm sure people have different levels of cognition and recognition and things like that, but I don't think it was ever as bad as it is now. With
Was it as
with
bad or
having
just
this
not
technology.
named?
No, I think
back
there's
then?
way too much stimulus now.
Absolutely.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I think that's what it is.
Yeah, people have made millions on destroying our attention spans.
And plus, there's so many more drugs now too,
yeah, modern
so
medicine is
better ones.
ridiculous.
which has developed all kinds of other things that we never even had before or never existed before until those drugs came along, and they mess with your head, and they different have chemical reactions to different people. So everybody's built differently.
I was on stuff for. They thought I had ADD when I was a kid,
Yeah.
so they gave me Ritalin.
Yeah,
It
you're
made me
probably just
sleep.
creative.
It wasn't even one of those things. It just made me sleep.
There's a really good.
Well, that fixed the problem, right?
yeah, there you go.
It was like I
Done.
didn't.
He'll knock him out for like 15 minutes. Like, it's just give him this shit.
There's a really nice TED
We can't
talk
slap
about
him,
that.
so just give him this pill.
Yeah, like
Can't hit him anymore.
who
Right.
is it? Dennis Leary is like, my parents used to beat the shit out of me, and as a matter of fact, I'm looking forward to beating the shit out of my kids when I, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like nobody hits. I'm not like saying like
Beat your
close
children.
fist beat your child,
Yeah,
but
yeah. I think what you're saying is everything has gotten
Like, it's
a
all
little too
gotten-
politically correct. in
yeah,
a lot of
Bill
ways.
Maher was he called it the
Pussified.
pussification of America.
And it is. It's totally been pussified. Everything. Like, I mean,
If you throw a punch to defend yourself, you're just as guilty as the person who started the fight anymore.
yeah, I think that's absolute horse shit. I do.
How many fights you been in?
A few.
But never like
No.
were you the
yeah.
instigator?
No, never.
It was always defensive.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely, you're trying to like try to stick up for a friend or something stupid like that. Like not stupid like that, but you know what I mean. Like just a silly altercation.
You stood up for your friend. That's
yeah, what
stupid.
a fucking dick.
How
no.
stupid of you.
No, like just over something that could have easily been avoided. That I just didn't let go.
Everyone knows Ed is being very nice because he is, but I've seen the rage.
Yes.
I've been on the other end. I've been on the receiving end of the rage.
I can't see either one of you guys being angry.
I think it takes a lot.
Yeah,
But
That's
my
how you know
anger
Everybody
is-
has a breaking point.
But that's how you know it means something.
yeah.
I suppose.
Like if you see one of you lose your shit, it's like,
Well,
all right, take
I
a
lost
step
my
back. This is
shit.
important.
and smashed the window of my own vehicle, so Ed got mad and sort of like threw me against the car and then turned into dad friend mode and went, "Do you want to go talk about it?"
Yeah. Like, see, that's like my
It kind of
rage.
like startled me out of it, and I think it was mostly because after we sort of peacefully talked about it, you're like, all right, I don't want to be the one to tell Chelsea. So it's
Yeah,
like, that was my
about-
way out of the punishment was to go tell Chelsea because we all thought she was going to be really mad, but in fact she was very
No. Yeah, she was good.
So wait, you got mad, punched your window out.
yeah.
Ed grabbed you in an aggressive manner
That's
Yeah.
correct.
and then said, "Do you want to go talk about it?"
No, you just no. So you just edited.
No, I'm trying to understand.
You film made. No, it's pretty much like, what the fuck's your problem? Kind of like throw me against the van, sort of wake me up thing, and then it was like, want to get a burger?
Yeah,
That- it was like that sort of thing.
Right. So you kind of like aggressively
Like
you
to a-
came at him like it was
like a brother, like what he would do. You know what I mean? Like,
I was
Like
a little-
aggressively asking him if he wants a burger.
aggressively just being like, "Do you want this fucking burger?"
Do you want a number 4?
Yeah,
Maybe we should talk about this.
yeah. No, it's
This is a good buddy. That was the same show Handsome was at. That was a weird
it's
night.
fucking-
Wait, Hanson?
Yeah.
I
Wait,
missed
isn't there a
this.
video on YouTube of that?
Yeah, same night I smashed my van window.
Why'd
Matt
you smash your van window? Shit.
Girls.
Oh.
Girl.
But then he realized it was Hanson.
But then but by that time, by that point, the window was already smashed. So,
Yeah, I was thrilled to drive with the rain fucking coming.
oh my god, it was like the next day.
Yeah.
The rain started.
we were in fucking Philly right after all this shit, or like 2 days later.
Yeah, we still had like 3 major cities to go to, and I goddamn smashed the window out. So you could just
Like the
reach your hand
driver's side window?
and unlock it. No, it
Yeah.
was the van. It was like the van's. Oh, you could just unlock and then steal everything. So we had to like park right next to buildings.
Yeah, it was absolutely.
And everyone had to
fucking
like
ridiculous.
climb out of the other side or the driver's side because I made a boo boo.
Yeah, it happens. But you remember what's it called? You remember what we did in Philly? Where we put the piece of wood,
The fake window.
it was like a piece of fucking plywood, and they just looked so stupid. Like it already, if it didn't look bad enough, like you see like 1,000 people jumping in and out of this van, they all look like, not criminals, but like
Close enough.
Thank God our friend Katie Trotz, her relative was able to replace the window for us. So
yeah, you're lucky.
was that the same time that we definitely should have got a DUI, but you Pete Seeger, the cop?
Pete Seeger, Bob Seeger.
What's Pete Seeger? Isn't he
That's
something?
no, you just put Pete where Bob's.
That's his brother.
That's his brother, Pete Seeger. No, yeah. This is a funny
You just
story.
put Pete where Bob should have been.
I don't even really remember. I just remember having a
like
conversation.
a rock, man.
I just remember having a conversation with him about Bob Seeger.
Well, it was because we got
What happened?
it was a DUI checkpoint in South Carolina, and
was
it was
driving.
and thank God Ed was driving. And the cop just came up to the window and asked for our license and stuff. And he looked at it, he's like, for like a while was looking at it. He's like, God damn, I can't even read these things. He's like, where are y'all from? Pennsylvania? What do you got a long drive? And I was like, yeah, we're in a touring band and all this. And he's like, touring band? You like Bob Seger?
And then I was like,
It was like, turn
dude.
the page. Love it.
We were a Bob Seger tribute band.
Yeah.
actually.
And
Dude,
he's like,
he's awesome.
and he's like, oh, get out of here. Like, I'm shitting, like just shitting. Like, I'm like thinking of all the possibilities of what could be in this van. And
we know.
and then the guy's like, I can't even read this thing, so go on ahead.
Yeah, it was awesome. it was awesome.
Did you say turn the page to him?
I don't know if I said
Yes, you
that.
did. Yes, he did.
Did I
He
say
said
turn
turn
the
the
page?
page. Yeah. You might have named like all of them that you could think of, but God damn it.
What's the one that fucking really?
All he would have had to do was like open Eric's side of the van and like just 6 cases of beer would have fell out on the guy.
Yeah. Oh man. Good days.
Nothing like that anymore, right?
No, honestly, no. It's awesome now.
It seems like both of you, well, all three bands, if we were counting, Fire with Friends, S Dakota, and Social State, are all really hitting a really good stride right now. I mean, Social State just put out an album a few months ago, and it's amazing.
Thank you.
We've talked about it on the podcast a couple times.
I heard that. By the way,
best
by the way, thank you so fucking much for that. Seriously,
sure.
It really, really means a lot.
Actually, a guy just messaged me the other day and said, "What's the name of that album that you guys were talking about?" And I told him he went and downloaded it.
It's so cool. Wow, it's so fucking
it's great.
Crazy.
And then
Pals made a great album.
Fire with Friends is in the studio,
Yeah.
and so is
Not this
Dakota-
one.
And oh
my God!
Don't you know
with you.
Don't you know the way we operate?
Let it go. I'm just kidding.
We'll be in here at some point for it.
All I care about is the next. What do you guys do next? I don't even care. I mean, the pocketbook cares about where you do it, but the music aficionado, the lover of music, is just like, man, just get me something.
Well,
I just want to interject real quick here. I've been blessed enough to be at some of those sessions for the new Fire with Friends stuff, and it's the best music that they've ever made. It's absolutely incredible.
Do you guys still have
Songs
that
are
drummer
incredible.
that?
Pardon?
Do you guys still have that drummer that played here?
Yeah.
He's phenomenal.
He's great.
He's fucking crazy, dude.
Very,
and
very
he's such a nice kid too.
Very dedicated.
Yeah, when you guys went up and started playing, remember Jimmy? I looked at you and I was like, "This is different."
Mm-hmm.
And it was almost like if you're a big Nirvana fan, right?
Oh, you fucking bet.
But you can tell there was a big difference in that band when Dave Grohl got into it.
Absolutely.
Yeah. And that's why. So like, I love a Fire with Friends as is,
Thanks, yeah.
and I love S Dakota too.
Mm-hmm.
But like when you guys went up and played, I think you guys did like only like 6 songs here.
Yeah. So we just decided to do all new stuff. I think that were the only ones we felt the most comfortable.
Yeah, and if I looked at you guys as like a 10, like it got bumped up.
Oh,
The moment I saw the new dynamic, I was
Thanks.
like, "Oh, this is good."
yeah, I'm really happy with it. I really am. It's probably the best band that we've been. So
And everybody's,
Actually, it's
everybody's getting
definitely
along.
yeah, and that's sort of what I mean too. The morale is amazing. Even just the other week when we were at the studio and it was time to pay, and just you see everyone like putting money on the table. I'm like, whoa!
I've never seen that. Usually they argue.
Like, you all brought $20,
It's crazy.
and you all came here. This is ridiculous.
growing up.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. It's so great. It's great. I really am really happy with it. It really is. And
Should be. It's awesome.
Do you guys have like a plan on?
we got together last week to sort of figure that out. I think we're gonna try and do a tape with Summer Step Records to sort of just get something out there to maybe boost social media, since we kind of have to start doing that. But I don't want to not have anything to offer. So I think we decided we're going to try and do that first, and then prepare for a full length as well. Like I think we have like 13 songs started, so we're just gonna keep going. And
So sometime this year, you think there'll be another Fire with Friends record?
yeah, I think sometime this year there should be 2. At
No
least
kidding.
Well, at least 2 releases. An EP and the full length. Hopefully.
That's awesome.
Thank you. Yeah, I'm excited.
And it's great. I wouldn't, if it wasn't great, I'd be like, yeah, it'd be cool.
That's why. That's why.
It's really good.
That's why I hated your guts, because before the Social State album got released, like I heard it like 9 months before.
Yeah.
And I was like, and Ed, remember Ed was like, you can just tell me if it sucks.
He's the most humble musician.
Yeah. And I'm like,
He's a humble
every
person.
song, it was like, oh my God.
Yeah,
like,
no,
this is fucking
phenomenal.
brilliant.
Well, half of anything that I appreciate that, but that's half of that Steven Hagler's production, and half of it is, the three other guys in the band. I mean, they're just.
Well, you had to
they're
give him
absolutely
something good to
phenomenal.
work with.
Yeah.
I don't know, but
Yeah.
thank you. I appreciate it.
Polished
very
shit is still polished shit.
It's just
Good
you're right.
songwriting's good songwriting.
Yeah. How can you?
much. Oh, shucks.
I gave you a gift. Take it.
Thank you. Thank you very much.